Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Let's just pretend that this is another day that I did not record the same video same day. Yeah, so please, if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, and sharing this video to somebody else would also help my channel. So please do subscribe. Thank you very much. So today I'm going to be talking to you, stay at home mom, to share with you how I made my own first 1 million naira. I'm not rich yet too, but this is how I made my own first million naira. And um, what I would advise really for you. So how I made my first million naira. So I started, okay, my background from this job I was doing before, and I'm going to state exactly how much I was earning at the time. It's ridiculous, but I'll say it. So when I started in 2016, after I got married, I got married in 2015, I resigned my job. My job told me to stay and not go, but they actually slashed my salary in half. If I had known, I would have negotiated better, but it was it was actually very ridiculous thinking about it. Like when I think about it, like they really did me dirty if I think about it properly. But anyways, let's move on. They slashed my salary in half, and I was earning, at the time I was earning about 80,000 naira or 70,000 naira, I can't remember, in 2015. And they slashed my salary in half, and I was working from home. Then it wasn't, you know, as I'm thinking back at it, like I should have negotiated. Like, why did they cut my salary in half? Like, it didn't make any sense. I was doing like the same, I was doing the job. But let's move on. So they slashed my salary in half, so I was collecting the salary, right? I was working from home, but they cut down my hours. Sure, I wasn't working like from 8 to 5 p.m. And also they cut my salary in half, and yeah, so that's what I was earning at the time. So after like about, I think I worked for them working from home about a year or so. And once when I finished about that year, when I knew that I was done, I have a video where how I made my decision. I'll put it here below. How I made my decision to be a stay-at-home mom. So when I decided I'll stay at home, I finally sent my last resignation letter, and that was it. So I wasn't earning any money. So I cannot remember how long after I stopped um, working that I started earning again. I can't really remember, right? So what I did was I wasn't earning any money, so I started my blog, the Cuddle blog, right? And because I'd been blogging before for a very long time, I started this blog with the mindset that I was going to make money from the blog. So everything I did about the blog was strategic, and I'm going to share with you guys some other video, my strategy for my blog, right? So it was strategic how I created the blog. So I created the blog, created my Instagram account, away from my personal one that I was using for my other blog, right? So I created that. Then in the midst of that, so I wasn't earning any money from the blog at the time, right? But in the midst of that, I was looking to myself, okay, what are the things that I have available around me? How can I make money? How can I this? How can I that? So I realized that I was doing photography and videography. So I used to edit once sometime. I used to edit like videos here and there. That's how I got like small money for my husband's company. Then I edit videos here, edit them videos there for them. He would pay me for those jobs. That's how I was getting small money. Then after, and like 20k here, 20k there, 15k, 30k, like that, far in between. It wasn't consistent. So looking at what I could do, I like photography, but I don't like photographing people. So how do I go about it? So I stumbled on product photography, right? So product photography, I was like, oh yeah, I could do product photography, right? So one of my friends at the time, Ebon, she was working for a social media for, for a company that we used to write together for, African Naturalistas. Shout out to you guys. So we did she was in social media for them, so she brought their products to me and says, oh, can I snap them? I was like, oh yeah, sure. That was my first that was my first paid product photography gig. I will never forget. I did it in front of my house. I did it outside. I took my Nikon camera at the time. I took pictures of it. I delivered. For me, like, it was like the best thing since sliced bread. But I gave it to her. She loved it. She paid me 10,000 or so, or something ridiculous. So that's how I started my product photography journey. So the least part of resistance for me was product photography, because I had equipment. My husband had photography equipment. I was good. I had the knowledge of photography because I'd gone to photography school. I had done some photography training. I have been taking pictures for a while, just not commercially, like to earn money. I was just taking pictures randomly. I got in a camera too before I got married and all of that. So that was how I started making. I opened a new Instagram for my photography, right? I attended a class for Instagram or something to teach me how to set up my Instagram as a marketing tool. So I did that and I set up my Instagram, and that Instagram started making me money. I started getting customers from the way I set up my Instagram, and I tell you, that's how I made my first million naira as a stay-at-home. By the end of the year I started to put out photography, I had made 2 million, I think. Right, the first year, or about $1 million. Okay, about $1 million. So by the second year, I decided to increase my price, because my husband was telling me, oh, this thing is too cheap. It's too cheap. You're giving quality work, because I'm using higher grade cameras than I could afford. Right? My husband was like, well, if you're paying for all these things, you know that you would have to, you have no choice but to increase your money. So I started acting as if I was actually paying for studio rentals, paying for renting cameras and stuff like that. So I had to increase my pricing. So I increased my pricing, and that's how I started making money. And I chose product photography because it was products. People could send it to me. I could do it on my time. I didn't have to be like, oh, you know, as people now, when you schedule a time, they'll be there, right? So I could do it at my time. So in the middle of the night, when my children were sleeping, I would photograph. That was when our studio was even still in the house. I'll photograph. Now I have 2 days in the week where I schedule my shoots for those days in the afternoons after we have done our homeschool. Then I go to the studio to quickly shoot. Sometimes I take them with me, and then I'm back. Like, I stay till night and come back. We take a bath in the studio and we're back home in the night. Everybody sleeps and I'm useless the next day, right? So it is important. So regardless of wherever you are, now I would say that yes, privilege, because okay, my husband was, but I could have chosen to decide. I could have decided to do something else. I could have decided to start selling something. I could have decided to, you know, like, I know that I'm not rich yet. I don't have all the kind of money that I wish I should or I can have, but I'm content, right? So it's important that even as you as a stay-at-home mom, like if you're not even earning anything at the moment, find your least path to resist, the least path of resistance for you, something that you can do, that you have the skills, the knowledge, and so you're not bogged down by what the media says, or how what is trending now is, oh, tech. If tech is not your strong suit, right, and you're not inclined to say you want to start learning now, find something that you're skilled at and start marketing yourself. So that's how. And do not make yourself too cheap. Don't make the mistake of making yourself too cheap. Value yourself, value your price, so that you can earn more money in a shorter period with lesser clients. If that makes sense. Like, so you can. So now in my photography, now this month, I have done only maybe about 2 jobs, and this would have been equivalent of like 10 jobs I did when I first started. So increase your pricing, like value yourself. I won't say just increase it, value yourself so that you can work less and make more money. Yeah, that was how I made my money first. So I hope my story is encouraging to somebody and to help you know that it's possible. I just hope that it helps you in some way or form, right? And it's encouraging to you. But like I said, the most important thing as a stay-at-home mom is having contentment, and you're not easily swayed by what you see online or that is trending. You're not. You have your reason why you're doing what you're doing in the back of your mind, and you keep that as the focus. You're not going to be like, oh, this person is buying a house, this person is da. You don't want to do that, right? So as I've shown you how I made my own first million. I will now tell you in my next video how I saved and invested my first millionaire. So see you in my next video. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Thank you. Bye bye.